Hello, YouTube world. To my subscribers, family, friends, Facebook, YouTube, everybody, TikTok, Instagram, welcome back to the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. I am your host, Robby Williams, and this is the second video of this new year, 2024. This is the video that I told some others that I will be talking about personality traits. And I'm talking about personality traits that are positive and that can help relationships. Hear a lot of people talk about relationships. We talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in relationships. But, we still see an abundance of people in and out of these relationships, short term, people having more of a zero tolerance, if you will, for different little things that goes on in relationships. And I will tell you this, we're going to have to make modifications along the way in our lives, especially if you want to incorporate someone else in your life. And these modifications, they comes with small prices, you're not going to be expecting someone to come into your life and you not make any changes. You're not giving, in other words, because in relationships, it's about give and take, and we knows this. So when we talk about that, one of the things that I want to mention is, what is it are you willing to do in a relationship that can not only help you, but help your partner as well? And when I was thinking about those things, I thought about personality traits. And one thing that I want people to understand is positive personality traits can be very helpful. And it can be that apparatus needed in a relationship in order to fortify the relationship, make it stronger. It can build bridges. It can plug in the gaps. It can do a lot of things when you start working on your self-development, as well as when you're thinking about your partner and saying, why isn't she doing this, or why isn't she acting like this? Vice versa. Why isn't he? And why isn't he acting like this? So it goes both ways, but all of these trickle down to when we talk about personality traits. And there's an abundance of videos out there that people are speaking on these topics. And I'm just sprinkling a little salt on it. I want to just add my 2 cents and we can go from there. I want to welcome everybody to my channel. Don't forget about the subscribe button. Don't forget about liking the video. I'm trying to do a little bit more this year than I've done the previous years. I'm still tied up with a lot of things, but yet I'm going to do that. I want to add a little bit more to it. So the topic of this video, when I think about it, there's so many positive personality traits. So my topic leads me to say 7 personality traits that are vital to any relationship. I picked 7. I picked the 7 that I think is good to talk about right now going into 2024 and how it can help relationships. So people, let's dive into this. And I would like for you to have an open mind. Don't take everything I say in a negative way. Open your mind and let's learn together. Number 1, my number 1 personality trait is being thankful. In other words, the main word I would want to use is appreciative. Learn to appreciate your partner. That's one of the things that I don't see a lot of, and I don't hear a lot about. There are a lot of good things that your partner do. There's a lot of ways that your partner have these, people call them, the way they act, the way they do things, but they're positive. And these are traits that everybody don't share. Okay. One may be a talker, the other is not a talker. However, when we're talking about being appreciative, that is an action verb, because we're talking about being thankful, being grateful. When you do that, you're doing it in action, you're doing it in movement, you're doing it in your examples, what you do towards that person, for that person. So this is not something that person going to be able to read through without you saying anything or doing anything. It shows someone you are grateful through your actions because of their actions. You're looking at something that person do consistently, and you want to show your appreciation for it. And one thing that I look at is when a person shows up in your life. And what I mean by that person is there for you, good times, bad times. That person is there. You can count on that person, that person shows up. And that person is there when you need that person. Your partner knows when you're down and always there, just show up and be there for you. That you should be thankful to have a partner like that, because not everyone have that. Try to understand now, not everyone has a partner that show up all the time and be there for you. So it's good to go to that person and say, you know what? I thank you for always showing up. I don't know, there are times that you was there that I wouldn't know what I would have done if you wasn't there. See, this is how we show our appreciation. As we move on, keeping promises. That's another thing. I tell people a lot of time, don't make promises you can't keep. Don't do that. I've done it before. And it made the other person feel bad when I didn't keep it. We must learn this. If you doubtful on doing something, or something that you getting ready to say, hey, I would just say, you know, I can't promise you that I'll do this, but you know, because this shows that you know your limit, you know your boundary, you know how far you can go, you know what you can or cannot do. You see, because everything is not in black and white. Remember that. Paying close attention and listening empathetically. Not everybody have a good listener as a partner. So when you do have that type of partner, let that partner know, hey, listen, I thank you for that. And there's other ways that you can, you know, when I talk about it being an action verb, when we talk about being appreciative, a woman can go and say, you know what, I'm gonna get off a little early today, go and pick up these little odds and ends from the grocery store. My husband likes steak and potatoes. The last time I did that it's been months. So I'm gonna go and make him his favorite meal to show him how much I appreciate him. When that man walks through that door and smell that kitchen going off like that, let me tell you something. It's on and popping. And you got to understand that you touching his heart by showing him in a way of preparing a wonderful meal for him, that you are grateful to have him in your life. Vice versa, men, you're going out, it is not Valentine's Day, but your wife come home from work, there is a bouquet of flowers there. Dozen roses, maybe mixed colors or what have you. And she like, is it my birthday? Is it, what day is this? What's going on? You know, did he do something? You know, things like that. And he walks up to her and he says, you know what? I just want to tell you how much you mean to me and what you have brought into my life. You see, these things are powerful because a lot of women don't understand when you meet a man, and let's say you already have kids and he come into your life and he embraces you and your children, he just embraces the whole family. And he shows up every day. He worked every day. He put in the work. And ladies, that is a good reason to show your appreciation. Same way, vice versa, because I don't say one thing for the women and don't say it about the men. Men, when you have 2 or 3 baby mamas out there and that woman accept you anyways, and she shows up every day, day in, day out. Oh, it's time to do something. Show her gratitude. Show her that you have that. Hey, listen, babe, I want to just take you out. Don't cook, we going to a nice restaurant. I want you to dress up. Let's do this. And and it can be a lot of other things you can do. But you want to make sure that you show her how thankful you are. Because people, no one has to do what they do. Remember that. That was my number 1. Just showing appreciation. That is a personality trait that a lot of people need in their life. Number 2, respect. Showing respect. Respect your partner. Respect goes a long ways. And I can't tell you how much it shows in a person's life when you just give them their due respect. When you give that person their due respect, let me tell you something. It's powerful. Respect, you can show him or her. But what it does, it teaches. It goes to that level of teaching value. When you show your partner that you respect your partner, the value of that relationship goes up to another level. The value of that person and how that person also sees you, the level of value goes up because that respect is there. Women, I can't say this enough. Men, I can't say this enough. When you are in a monogamous relationship, it does not help when you spend time with men, when you're a man and you with women that is not your partner, and you hanging around them, you saying these are your, this just part of them, my boys, these my boys, this my home girl. No. Because you don't know what your partner is thinking. And don't hand me this thing about trust, because that's a slippery slope when you play that game. You're not at home, you're hanging out at the bar, you, a couple of guys, and then a couple of ladies, everybody there, but your significant other isn't there. See, that's red flag. And that's showing lack of respect for your partner. And I do understand you want me time. Everybody want me time. But you don't have to disrespect your partner when you have your me time. Ladies, you shouldn't be all up in men's face. You shouldn't be up in other men's face all the time. You got a man, what are you doing all that for? Oh, he's just a coworker. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because respect goes a long ways. How you handle yourself, how you carry yourself. This is one of the reasons why a lot of women now, a lot of them, they're reneging the fact of being in a relationship because they want to have multiple partners. They want to be around different people. They want their space, so to speak. That's not cool. And I'm just here to tell you, it's not cool. So remember that, because when you do not respect your partner, it can eventually sabotage the relationship. Respect keeps you from sabotaging that relationship. So think about it. Think about it. And respect also fosters trust. It helps build trust. It gives validity to trust. You see, it builds that closeness that you really want, that can lead to a greater level of love and commitment. It can happen. But see, you know what? One thing that I've learned over the years, and I see it a lot now, you know, people think that if you respect your partner that way, that means you're a simp, or that means he's controlling her and all that stuff, but that's not true. This is about choice. This is not about control. Because if you want multiple women, or if you want multiple men, go to that sector that allows that. Go to that sector and those people that want to indulge in that. But don't get with someone that doesn't want to do that and then do it behind their back. You don't have to do that. I can tell you now, there are websites, there are dating apps that promote multiple partners. You don't have to do nothing but go online and look for it. So those of you that want multiple partners, you don't have to lie about it. Go to the sector that allows it and the people that embrace it, and you can have all of them. But do not disrespect your partner. That was my number 2, respect. Let's move on to number 3. I highlight number 3 because complimenting that when you have a trait where you know how to give someone accolades, you know how to lift that person up by saying, you know, I'm giving you your props, you know, that kind of falls back on appreciation, how you use it and you move in action and you show someone you appreciate them. Complimenting your lady, guys, can be powerful. And I know some people will say, yeah, you don't want to do that too much because you know, they'll think that, you know, you just weak and you this and you that. No, I'm not saying walk around 5 times a day just throwing compliments at the person. No, I'm not saying that. I'm only saying that there are times when you need to walk up to your partner and say something positive about her positive traits. Let's say, for an example, you're not strong in finance, but your partner is. And it's your partner is the reason why the marriage is financially balanced. When was the last time you went to your wife or your partner and said, babe, you know what, I just want to say this to you. I mean, I'm okay with money. I can handle money and stuff like that, but not like you. You're awesome. And I just want to thank you for, you know, you're just good with money. And if we are a lot further financially and a lot stable financially because of your knowledge, your financial knowledge. Give her props on that. Nothing wrong with that. It could be the man having that type of knowledge. Give him his props on it. Ladies, you can go up to your man and just say, you know, babe, you know, we suffered through some tough times a couple of years ago, and I just never saw you wither. I never saw you weaken and give up and throw in the towel. Your mental aptitude, your strength, your power, just, it really creates life in this relationship. And I admire you for that. And that's one of the reasons why I love you. What's wrong with saying that, lady? You don't have to be the boss lady all the time. It don't have to be about you all the time. Because trust me, men battle away from home. on them jobs, and they come home and a lot of times they don't say anything about it. So remember, giving that person a compliment, that, you know, you being a woman and you haven't changed when you're dating, once you married, and here you're 5 years down the road, you that still solid woman. And what I'm saying is that your personality traits are still intact. And you haven't went from Jekyll to Hyde. And that man come up to you and say, baby, your authenticity is off the chain. I love it. You have been with me for 5 years and you have not jumped up here talking about this, going from one extreme to the next, changing up on me. And I love it. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Compliments are powerful. There's so many ways you can do it. That's my number 3 now. Let's go to number 4. When we talk about my number 4 is about moral support. Some people don't have that trait. They don't have that mental aptitude to be able to, that way of being able to just say, I'm going to be there for him when he's down, showing support when he's having a rough time at work, you know, or when a man loses a job, instead of you running for the hills, you're there, you're supporting him, you're sticking by him. Powerful. That's a powerful thing, to stick with that man. Same thing for that woman, and vice versa for the man. You know, supporting someone, when you do that, this is psychological more than it is physical. And you want to show that person that you're there emotionally and that you can hang in there through some tough times with them. Male or female, vice versa, doesn't matter. And as long as your partner passion aren't damaging the relationship. Some people can go out and say, let's say the man say, babe, you know what I want to do? I want to start my own business. I want to, all the guys say how much I know about fish and tackle and all that stuff. And I can go through a tackle box and I can name everything in it. You know, I'm thinking about just taking my shed out back and then start me a small store, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, hopefully it can grow and be something big. Don't shut him down on that. That's just an idea. He's exploring something new. Support that idea. Be supportive. Don't tell him, oh, you're not going to, there's too many stores out there like that. Don't do that. Don't shut him down. The woman, it can be vice versa. It can be the woman coming up with an idea of buying hair, selling hair products and things like that. And then she want to use the shed. No, baby, you're not going to use my shed for no mess like that. No, that's not what the man should say. See, we're not perfect. We're not living in a perfect world, but you should know how to support your partner. And if you don't, you need to learn. It's time to go back to the old drawing board. Learn. And that's what we're doing today. We're talking about this stuff. Number 5, moving on. Positive interactions with each other. Find time to have positive interactions. That is a trait where you are you realize that you need to make time for your partner. And the time need to be positive, not you feeling grudgingly like you being drugged into something. Oh, I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. No, I'm not talking about that. Because it has to be positive and it has to be emotionally charged, not in a sense of just emotionally driven, but it's on upswing. You got a lot of happiness, you got a lot of joy in it, and you're going to find joy in it. You know, going on a picnic, doing things like that. She may be a picnic type person, where then say, hey, baby, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going on a picnic Saturday morning. So that's positive time. During that time, y'all can talk about things. And sometimes you have to turn them phones off, because that would aid in having positive time for your spouse or for your partner, however you want to call it. Turn that phone off. And I do understand those may have children, small children. Maybe with grandma, you want to leave a phone on so that she can reach out if something happens. I get that. But I'm saying, if everything is good, you want to turn them phones off and focus on each other. Because making time with each other can have a positive effect for the relationship long term. So remember that. Number 6, we almost wrapped this up. After 6, we got one more. We're gonna close out then. Ladies, y'all know y'all do this. Not all of you, but some of you. Y'all flirt with other men, even when you're with your man. You can be at a shopping mall or what have you, you're flirting. Flirt with your man. Flirt with your man. Flirt with your husband. There's nothing wrong with that. Seduce your husband. When he come home, seduce him. Be playful. Seduce your man. Guys, stop acting like you don't like it. Doggone it, I know you like it. Guys, you like it. I like it. Let your wife be seductive with you. Let her do that with you. Let her flirt with you. Flirt back with her. It kindles energy. A woman that flirts with her man, let me tell you something. She gets her man attention. You really do. Driving that home with romance. You can have that when you flirt and all that stuff going on. Take your lady to a romantic dinner. Surprise her. Show her what time it is. Hey, babe, I got this under control. You know, take her to a place where she's going to get her favorite meal. Don't worry about the price. Plan it and do not worry about the cost. And it'll make a difference. Trust me, it'll make a difference. Moving to number 7. Number 7. And number 7 is the one that everybody needs to know. And number 7 covers from 6 back up to 1. Reciprocity. What that means. The act of interchanging for the reciprocal benefits that is essential to any bond, from romantic partnership up to marriage. That's give and take. That's you give, she give. You give, she give. That's part of reciprocity. That's you giving, she's giving. That means both of you are receiving at the end of the day. You're both receiving. You giving compliments, she giving compliments. You surprising her with a romantic dinner, she's surprising you with flirting and seduction and all that stuff that men like. Some men take their wives out on a little shopping spree, baby. Just go get what you want. All of this falls under the category of reciprocity. Give and take. Don't expect one to do it if you're not the type of person to do things. I hear women do this all the time. I hate to say it, ladies, but I'm telling you now. A lot of time, women, I want. Baby, will you do this? Will you do this? Will you do this? And then the man can ask for one thing, and again, that's what he gets. Again, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because if you operate under the spirit of reciprocity, what can happen is you both will be giving and receiving. And stop counting. Oh, I did this last night. I did this yesterday. I did this. I did it 5 times this week. Stop counting. Just take this to the next level. Take it to the next level. Reciprocity is an important sign of love and support. In a relationship with a balanced amount of give and take, each person believes their contribution is worth giving because they will receive the energy back. This sense of reciprocal interchange enhances partnership as a whole. My good people out there in YouTube world, Instagram, Facebook, all the platforms, my viewers, my subscribers, I want to thank you all for holding on and hanging on with me. But don't forget, for those new people that view my video, don't forget, subscribe, like my videos, go to the comment section. Tell me what you think about these 7 personality traits. Tell me about it. I want to know. And I'm going to also drop a link at the bottom so that for those of you that want to go and check out my Flipboard magazine, I'm going to drop that link down there. And in that magazine, I talk about health, and it's about other people that are blogging or writing articles. I put their work there as well. So you get to see a lot of things and read about a lot of things that is positive and healthy for your mind and your body. My name is Robby Williams, and I want to thank y'all again for joining me here on the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. And hey, good people, I'm out of here. Y'all be good this 2024.